The Tack is a cycle. It begins on Friday and works on a revolving schedule until Thursday night. At the Friday budget meeting, staff members throw out ideas for the next week's paper. The news, features, sports, entertainment, art, and photo editors then assign these stories to their writers. The staff meets Tuesday for the rundown on the stories. Which reporter has what story, how much is done, and in some cases, what isn't done. In the meantime, reporters have gathered information and started writing their stories. They write on the Macintosh computers in the Tack room. Their deadline, Wednesday night at 7. At 7, the editors sift through stories and edit, first by hand, then on the Macs. Stories go through 3 transformations, the first, second, and final drafts. Editors read each story 5 times, twice on the first run, twice on the second, and once on the final draft. Each editor searches the copy for grammatical and factual mistakes. Corrections are noted and made on the Macs. Also on Wednesday night, pages are bordered and page numbers attached. Thursday, the construction begins. The photo staff has already developed film and printed photos. Negatives and proof sheets were due Tuesday night. Final photos must be ready Thursday at noon. Photos are then sized, taken to the Storm Lake Pilot Tribune, and PMT'd, a method that prepares photos for newspaper print. Not all Tack stories call for photos, however. This is where the art staff comes in. With ideas from stories and suggestions from the managing editor, this art staff creates illustrations or graphics to suit each article. Starting around 3 Thursday afternoon, final drafts of articles are measured and set in correct type on the laser writers. After selling advertising throughout the week, the ad staff begins work on their pages. The ad people create their ads on the Macintoshes, then measure, adjust, and finally paste up their clients' advertising. Around 7 o'clock, the ads and most of the copy are completed. The managing editor assigns stories to certain pages and designates staff members to work on each page. Individually or in groups of 2, the staff finds their stories and arranges them to fit the page. After the stories are set, the Tack person in charge of the page begins writing headlines for each story. Working on the computer, the person decides what the headline will say and makes it fit the desired area. When headlines are completed and all copy, photos, and illustrations sit in place, the page is ready to be straightened. The layout person transfers the page from the layout table to the light table and straightens all material on the page. This page is now finished. A number of others must be done, depending on the size of the issue. Usually the Tack runs 8 to 12 pages. The layout is finally completed, and the Tack is put to bed. Tomorrow the paper goes to the Pilot Tribune for print. A few die-hard Tack people wander back to their rooms, sometimes as late as 2 or 3 in the morning. Friday the Tack arrives around noon. During lunch at the budget meeting, the Tack staff critiques this week's issue and lists possible stories for the next Tack. The Tack cycle begins again.